So we now enter the most auspicious chapter, which is the advent of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. We saw yesterday that Krishna already entered Devaki's womb, and Brahma offered a beautiful prayer. And after Brahma's prayers were offered, Devaki was glowing even more with every passing day. And then finally, Shuka Brahman beautifully describes the auspicious day, the auspicious hour. It is said that as the auspicious hour arrived, it was the Ashtami Tithi, the 8th day of the lunar fortnight. Rohini Nakshatram was in the ascendant. All the quarters were clear. Even though it is the season of monsoon, the clouds had suddenly cleared up completely. The skies were so clear, all the stars were shining through. All the rivers were flowing with clear water. All the directions were filled with auspiciousness. Everyone who was righteous was feeling a sudden spurt of happiness within in that hour, and midnight was approaching. And all the Vedic activities that had been stopped by Kamsa suddenly started on its own. And everyone, heavenly beings, sages, saintly people, all of them were feeling a very celebratory mood. All the demoniac species, demoniac beings were feeling offended, affected, down, low. The music that was playing in the heavenly skies was heard everywhere. Every direction, everywhere was filled with auspiciousness, and in this way, and there is a hallowed breeze that was flowing from Yamuna with such auspiciousness all around. At the right hour of the midnight, Bhagavan Sri Krishna appeared, and his descent on the Mother Earth happened in that auspicious hour. It says, Nishite Tama Udbhute Jayamane Janardane Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Sarvaguhashayah Avirasid Yatha Pratyam Dishi Induriva Pushkalaha. Just as in the eastern sky the full moon rises, in that way Bhagavan appeared in that hour. Devaki was like a Deva Rupini. She looked like a heavenly goddess. And Vishnu, who is Sarva Guhashaya, who is the heart of all living entities, who abides in the hearts of all. As Krishna says, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhuta Shayastita. So later in Gita, Krishna would say, I abide in the hearts of all. But now that very Krishna, very Vishnu, in his full form, appears in that hour. The most important aspect of Krishna avatar is that it is Purna avatar. Earlier Bhagavatam says Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. In all other avatars, various amshas were manifested, but Krishna is Narayana himself, the full avatar in its full opulence. So when he appears with all his paraphernalia. It says in a very famous verse, Tam Adbhutam Balakam Ambujekshanam Chaturbhujam Shanga Gadaryudayudham Srivatsa Lakshmam Galashobi Kaustubham Pitambaram Sandra Payoda Saubhagam. Every auspicious sign was present in Krishna as he was born. He was Chaturbhujam. He had displayed 4 arms with a conch, with a mace, with a Sudarshana chakra, and with the lotus flower. And all of these have deep symbolism. The Sudarshana chakra represents the movement of time, that is cutting everything as a weapon and yet bestowing grace to those who surrender unto it. The mace represents that which knocks people into their senses through various activities, sometimes through suffering, sometimes through challenges. The Panchajanya, which is the conch, represents the five elements that come forth from the sound Om that comes with the conch shell. And the lotus flower represents the very heart that has to flower in grace when one surrenders into Bhagavan and realizes Bhagavan in the heart. So, with all these four, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, in the most auspicious hour at that time, Adbhutam Balakam, it is said, the most wonderful child appeared. The word Adbhutam has been commented by so many because everything about Krishna is full of wonder. His very appearance is wonderful. His pastimes are wonderful. His teachings are wonderful. His activities are wonderful. Everything defies any other comparison of any kind. It is most wonderful in every possible way. And in this way, this most wonderful child appears, and as soon as he appears in this form, Devaki and Vasudeva, who are already aware because of Brahma's prayers that they are going to give birth to the Supreme Being, now see they are the most blessed couple in that prison cell, nobody there, and they see this most wonderful child. The most amazing thing about Krishna Avatar is that the Krishna Avatar that is celebrated so gloriously, when he was born, there was only Devaki and Vasudeva. There was no celebration anywhere. There was just the prison cell in which he was born. And later we would see when he leaves earth too, he leaves silently with nobody next to him. And yet every year Janmashtami is celebrated with such pomp and glory. And it is called as Janmashtami here because interestingly in Vrajabhumi, even today, they say only Janmashtami. They don't say Krishna Janmashtami or Krishna Jayanti because the sweet mode of Vraja is that they don't want Kamsa to know that Krishna is born. So they just say he is born. Who is born is not mentioned. So it's Janmashtami, the Ashtami Tithi of Krishna's appearance. And as soon as he is born, we see Devaki and Vasudeva completely moved, speechless, and Vasudeva offers a beautiful prayer. He recognizes that what is here is the divine, the supreme, the eternal truth, as already Brahma said, Satyavritam, Satyanetram, Satyasya Satyam. He said he is the truth of all truths. Normally, we see various facts in front of us that are apparently projected by the senses, by the mind, but they are only apparent. But what is really the truth behind all truths is the awareness in which everything comes. Everything else is only an apparent truth. They seem to be there, they seem to be gone. But the truth of truths is the pure awareness, pure consciousness, which alone makes everything illuminated and appear. That truth of all truths has taken a form in the form of Krishna. So that's why he is called Satyasya Satyam. And this truth of all truths has appeared here. And therefore Vasudeva says, offering his prayer, he says, Viditosi Bhavan Sakshat Purushav Prakrite Paraha Kevalanubhavananda Rupaha Sarva Buddhidrik. He very perfectly glorifies Krishna here. He says, Bhavan Sakshat Purushaha Prakritev Paraha. You are the eternal being who is beyond matter. Prakriti is the material energy which manifests everything, in which everything appears, which makes every quality come forth through the three gunas. And yet, who is beyond Prakriti is the eternal being Purusha. And this Purusha, the eternal being, has taken apparently a form and come here as Krishna. So he says, even though you have taken a form which is apparently made of matter, you are completely transcendent to matter. Prakritev Paraha Kevala Anubhavananda Swarupa. You are simply the embodiment of pure bliss. It is pure bliss that has taken this form as Krishna. And therefore he says, you are Sarva Buddhi Drik. You are the witness of all activities of everyone. So the glory of Krishna avatar is that it is Anandam Anubhavananda Swarupaha, means that which is pure bliss is seen in every activity too. That is why in Krishna avatar, right from birth till he leaves earth, Krishna's pastimes are filled with such joy, such lightness, brings smile automatically to anyone who listens to it at every level, full of playfulness, full of mischief, full of all kinds of wonderful rasas, the navarasas, everything manifests in Krishna's pastimes because the pure Ananda is manifesting in the human form in Krishna. So, the pure nature of awareness, which is always filled with bliss, filled with joy, when it takes form, the forms are always limited, and because of the limited nature of form, it is only within the heart of the limited forms, while the forms themselves do not express the full joy. But when Krishna appears, because his form is transcendental, the very form itself is Anubhavananda Swarupa. There is absolutely no limitation in his form. As we see, he appears with four arms, revealing his form as transcendental to nature. And every activity Krishna does is transcendental, and therefore his very form is an embodiment of pure Brahman. If one can envision Brahman as form, that is Krishna. And therefore, here Vasudeva says, Kevala Anubhavananda Swarupaha Sarva Buddhi Drik. And in this way, Vasudeva beautifully glorifies Krishna. And then Devaki, she looks at Krishna, and then she, of course, is moved to tears of joy looking at this most wonderful form. And she says also a very beautiful verse. She says, Rupam yattat prahuhu avyaktam adyam brahma jyotir nirgunam nirvikaram sattamatram nirvishesham niriham sattvam sakshat vishnur adhyatma deepaha. Every word of this verse is so powerful, so beautiful. She says, this rupam, this form, yattat prahuhu avyaktam adyam, it is the most unmanifest form, adyam, the original form, Brahma Jyotir Nirgunam Nirvikaram. That is, this is the effulgence, the pure effulgence of the Supreme Being, pure consciousness, that is Brahman, Nirgunam Nirvikaram. It is beyond all qualities, all gunas. It is beyond all vikaras, all changes. It is Satta Matram. It is pure consciousness. It is nothing other than pure consciousness. Nirvishesham Niriham Sakshat Vishnuhu Adhyatma Deepaha. So you are the original Vishnu, the all-pervading Supreme Being, the light of the Self that has come in this form. And in this way, Devaki offers her prayers to Krishna, and then she tells Krishna that please change your form to the normal human form, because as a mother, she is filled with love for Krishna and she wants to see him in the baby form so that she can give her vatsalya, give her maternal love. Even much later in Bhagavad Gita too, when Krishna reveals his transcendental form to Arjuna, Arjuna is overawed, but he also says, please reveal your regular form as my friend. So the sweetness of seeing Krishna in the form of a baby for Devaki is even greater than seeing in the divine transcendental four-armed form. So she says, reveal that form. So Krishna first addresses, before he reveals it, he is still a Swayam Bhagavan. So he speaks. He is still not the regular human baby. He is simply speaking as Vishnu. He says, to both of them. You both are blessed because of all the prayers you have done. I have appeared as your child. You were praying for me in the past Janma, and because of the piety and the asceticism of both of you, you've been blessed with me. And therefore, now I shall take a regular form and you will know what to do. He doesn't even say anything because everything will be revealed automatically. Then Krishna changes into a regular infant baby. And as soon as that happens, Yoga Maya takes over. As we've seen already, Krishna had instructed Yoga Maya to arrange for everything, and that arrangement is revealed. Vasudeva doesn't even have to get any instruction. Everything is revealed from within. A beautiful basket with linen made of silk appears there. He places the child in that basket. All the guards are put into such deep sleep that they have no consciousness whatsoever. All the gates, which are made of steel bolts, are flung open. Vasudeva walks without even knowing where he is going. He simply knows his feet are guiding him. He just walks out the prison cell with the baby up in his head, carrying in the basket. He walks towards Yamuna, and suddenly the clouds that were so clear, that is the skies that were so clear, now again is filled with clouds, and it starts pouring. Indra is pouring rain, and in this rain he reaches the edge of Yamuna. Yamuna parts, and as Yamuna parts, Vasudeva simply walks across Yamuna, and as he walks across, Yamuna is swelling on both sides, coming up all the way almost to his head, but not submerging him. It is coming up and receding, coming up and receding. What Yamuna is doing is, she is coming up to touch the feet of Krishna, to offer her obeisances. So she comes up and recedes and plays this beautiful way of giving way to Vasudeva while touching the feet of Krishna. And Vasudeva walks across Yamuna, goes to Nanda's Gokula. There again, Yogamaya, she is already born to Yashoda and Nanda. And not only that, she has put everyone there also in Yoga Nidra. Nobody is aware that even she is born as a child, as a girl. Yashoda, the mother, very amazingly, again, that's why everything is adbhutam, wonderful, in the most wonderful way. She doesn't even know that a girl child is born to her. She's put into deep sleep after the child was born. Everyone around is sleeping in this way. Vasudeva goes there, puts this beautiful baby, Krishna, right next to Yashoda, picks that child, the girl child who was there next to Yashoda, puts in the same basket. And normally, Vasudeva would not, knowing fully well that Kamsa is going to kill the eighth child, he is taking this girl child and taking it back to Mathura. Vasudeva, being a very pious sattvic person, would never consider doing this to another child, a girl child of Nanda. But because everything is arranged by Yogamaya, Vasudeva is not even thinking about anything. He is just acting as directed from within. So Vasudeva takes this girl child, which is Yogamaya, puts her on the basket, walks back to Mathura, walks back into the prison cell, goes back into that cell, keeps her there, and immediately Yoga Nidra clears everyone. The prison cells are locked, the guards are back to their consciousness, their sleep is gone. They all realize there is a child that is born, and the child is crying for them to know, and Kamsa is announced, and Kamsa comes there. Devaki pleads with him, saying, "This is a poor girl child. You have killed six sons. The seventh is gone because she still doesn't know that Balaram is with Rohini." So she says, "At least spare this one." Kamsa doesn't listen. He takes this little girl child, not knowing who this is, and he flings that child on a slab of rock as cruelly as he does. But slipping out of his hand, the Divine Mother comes out, reveals her form with 8 arms as Vishnu Maya, as Vaishnavi Narayani. And she says, "O fool, you do not know what you are doing. The one who is about to kill you is elsewhere." And saying this, she goes. Kamsa is now shocked because he did not expect this. He is full of tears for what he has done, but at the same time, whatever he says to Vasudeva and Devaki, they simply let him go. They do not carry any animus towards him. That's the greatness of Vasudeva and Devaki. So he releases Vasudeva and Devaki and he goes back, worried, but also having failed in his mission, now filled with fear. And all his attendants come and tell him in the most cruel way that now that this baby is born elsewhere, let's kill all the newborn babies in this mandala. So they go about doing that while Kamsa is sitting alone, brooding over this. And meanwhile, Krishna has been taken there as we saw. And the next morning, Yashoda and Nanda wake up to see this beautiful child, and Nanda Gokula is filled with celebration. And we will see the celebration in Nanda Gokula and the beginning of the wonderful pastimes of Vraja Leela starting from tomorrow.